If you're a high achiever or someone who genuinely cares about doing meaningful work, you might know exactly what I mean. You have dreams, talents, and ideas, but you're constantly busy, constantly tired, and strangely stuck. And if you've ever felt like you're doing everything, but not really getting anywhere, you're not broken, you're not lazy. So let's break this down together. Okay, so let me paint this picture. You wake up early, you go on your TikTok or Instagram and you check your emails before you even brush your teeth. And then you maybe get breakfast or not get breakfast and you go to work and you're probably studying, managing your shift, juggling a family. And then you just go through all these motions like ticking off tasks on a list. At the end of the day, you just still feel exhausted and unsatisfied. You've been in motion all day, but deep down, you feel like nothing truly progressed. And that's the productivity paradox. We mistake motion for progress and we confuse being busy with being effective. So, why do high functioning driven people fall into this trap? So, let's talk about three reasons I've personally experienced and seen in professionals and doctors. So, you're reacting instead of creating. Your day is dictated by bleeps, inboxes, or other people's needs, and you're spending your energy responding to life and not actually building it and not working towards your goals. So, have you stopped and thought how you can get this piece of work that you're doing signed off from a senior? Or get this workplace based assessment signed off, or just get general feedback for the work that you're doing so you can be one step closer towards that goal of whatever it is. And the second thing is that you may lack clarity because if everything is important, then nothing is. Without a clear focus, you end up chasing urgency and not really purpose. During my foundation year, when I had no idea what specialty I wanted to do, and all I was doing was just getting my portfolio signed off or not really progressing on what specialty I wanted to go to, and literally everything was on autopilot. And yes, okay, I was progressing foundation year, but I wasn't really progressing in my own goals or my own aim. I was just like drifting through thin air. And for me, that was such a waste of time until luckily, when I did my GP placement, one of my GP had specialist interest in dermatology. And then after that, I really enjoyed dermatology. And then I just said, okay, that's what I want to do. I want to do dermatology and I'm going to get more taster weeks for this specialty. And then I'm going to I'm going to tailor my CV into dermatology. That clear aim and that clear structure actually reinvigorated me. And I just had more energy that I actually have a goal on what I want to do. And the third thing is you may be addicted on the feeling of doing, but not being effective. So let's be honest, being busy actually feels good. It kind of gives you a false sense of being productive. But sometimes it's a way of procrastinating or avoiding the scary stuff. So, like the bold choices, the uncertain work, the tasks that could actually change your life and move the needle if only you had the courage to face them, like emailing that department or consultant to take interest in that specialty and putting yourself out there in terms of projects. I think I lived in this kind of trap or bubble where I thought I was doing such a great job because I was doing so much. I was being so busy on the wards and just doing everything for the patients, but I wasn't actually doing anything for myself. So when I got to the end of my years, I just realized my CV looked so sparse. There's nothing on my CV that had shown like I did such an impactful audit or I had any publications. And then I just stopped and just thought, like, what was I even doing in these 2 years of my foundation year training? Even though I was so intensely busy looking after patients, but I didn't really invest that time onto myself by going into courses or actually gaining some points for my specialty training. And this is what you need to do as well. We can get so caught up with the rut of life that we don't actually invest in our own goals and what we need to do. So, actually take 30 minutes out your day to actually reflect on what you have achieved so far in terms of your goals or the specialty that you want to go into. And that can be personal or professional. And honestly, if you are working so hard because of the rut of life, you may be getting burnt out that you're not actually doing anything meaningful with your life and you're not progressing. And that is a massive burnout in high achievers or professionals, essentially. So if you're stuck in that cycle, There are 5 things which you can do. Find your needle movers. Ask, if you could only do one thing today that moves me forward, what would it be? And do that first, before the noise, before the inbox, before you even scroll on TikTok or on Instagram. And then apply the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your outcomes come from 20% of your actions. So identify that 20%. For me, it wasn't redoing my CV. It was actually focusing on interview prep, reflective practice, and finding a mentor, and then going on courses to build those interview skills. And once I doubled down on that, results came faster. And again, create space for stillness. Stillness is not laziness, it's actually where clarity is born. So, even 10 intentional minutes a day can completely shift your mindset. So, journal or go on a walk, that's where my best ideas come from, or meditate. And make sure you're not doing the same things that is making you feel busy, but is not really moving the needle. So maybe just deprioritize those. And then maybe at the end of the week or at the end of the month, maybe just ask yourself, what outcome did I move closer to the week? And number 5, protect your boundaries. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Not every opportunity is aligned with your goal. So you can say no if anyone offers you more work. And just say, not right now, I have a lot on my plate, but maybe next time if you are interested in doing that later on. And hopefully, this would not be the root of burnout, because burnout doesn't always come from too much work. It often comes from doing a lot that doesn't really align on what you want to do. And you give everything. You give your mental bandwidth, your heart to things that doesn't really energize you. And then you just wonder why you feel drained, confused, and unmotivated. You're not broken and you're not weak and you're not lazy. So don't worry. You're just out of alignment. And then when your work and your purpose are aligned, even hard work feels different and it feels fulfilling. So if you're someone who wants to do everything and you're scared you'll end up becoming nothing, please know this. You just need to get clear on what actually matters to you and give yourself permission to pause, to refocus, and to realign. And I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in the next one.